Hello, knowledge seekers. In this episode of 20-Minute Books, we delve into the world of Anne Lamott's esteemed handbook on writing and life, Bird by Bird. This remarkable guide provides profound insights into not only improving your writing skills, but also enriching the quality of your life. Lamott's unique, honest, and personal storytelling is a refreshing approach that makes this book an indispensable resource for writers and those who aspire to become one. Anne Lamott, a renowned novelist, memoirist, and writing teacher, has authored 7 novels, including the celebrated Traveling Mercies and Hard Laughter. With her remarkable track record and experience, she equips you with essential tools to enhance your writing and creativity. Bird by Bird is an invaluable piece for anyone aspiring to write, professional writers eager to enrich their skills, individuals keen on understanding the writer's life, and those interested in establishing a sound creative routine. Join us as we unravel the depth and charm of Lamott's wisdom, one bird at a time. A Bird by Bird, Some Instructions on Writing and Life. Introduction. Dive in, the water's fine. Unlock the brilliant writer within you. Bird by Bird, authored by the celebrated novelist and memoirist Anne Lamott, offers a riveting and insightful journey through the fascinating realm of writing. Deftly intertwined with her personal experiences, Lamott employs a warm and sharp wit, unveiling her unique strategy to writing. She urges you to summon the power of discipline, dedication, and single-mindedness to master the art of writing. However, Lamott goes beyond the basic mechanics of writing, leading you towards an enriched understanding of what being a writer truly entails. She urges you to decelerate, to keenly absorb your surroundings, delve into your deepest thoughts, and mine rich, raw material from these sources. Throughout this fascinating journey, you'll uncover how to capture your authentic writer's voice and breathe life into characters that leap off the pages of your story. With these insights, you might just find your way to becoming the exceptional writer you aspire to be. Throughout this guide, you'll also explore how to grapple with and eventually conquer the dreaded writer's block, the secret behind the effectiveness of penning down a crappy first draft, and the path to discovering your true voice as a writer. Part 1. Writing Truthfully. How observing your world makes you a better writer. The path to being a skilled writer isn't paved with secret shortcuts. Instead, it's adorned with a series of vital stepping stones. First on this journey is the art of mastering relaxation, stepping back from the crowd and sharpening your observation skills. You know that one person at a party, the one lingering on the outskirts, absorbing every detail? That's your model. Writers often stand in the peripheral, quietly observing and meticulously taking notes. The task of a writer is to eloquently convey her observations and experiences. This demands the ability to relax and concentrate, capturing every nuance with an attentive eye. It's a slow, deliberate process that resists rushing or force. In essence, you need to cultivate attentiveness. Take time to notice the world around you, the peculiar stride of a passerby, the soft, morning light sculpting the face of your loved one, or the emotional tug of a childhood memory. Observing and documenting the world around you is fundamental in becoming a skillful writer, as it aids you in conveying the truth, the cornerstone of excellent writing. The relevancy of your observations to your potential material isn't the crux. It's how you extract truth from these observations and weave them into your narrative that matters. Do not hesitate to unearth past experiences as your primary fodder. Reflecting and writing about memories, childhood or otherwise, can offer rich material. As a writer, you are endowed with the luxury to examine life from myriad perspectives. Sift through the archives of your memory, exploring each nook and cranny for the buried truths. This introspective journey is worthwhile as long as you delve deep observing yourself with the same careful scrutiny you would the world around you. Write honestly and fearlessly, bringing forth your unique viewpoint into the narrative. Part 2. Unmasking your unique voice. The power of honesty in writing. When it comes to distinguishing the characteristics of a great writer, critics and literary enthusiasts tend to converge on one point: the writer's voice. This unique style goes beyond the specifics of the plot, enveloping the story's narration as well. To cultivate your distinct voice, a critical tool is honesty. Being candid with your readers about your genuine emotions can pave the way to revealing your authentic voice. Unmasking your true voice involves braving emotional corridors and confronting the truths lurking within. As a writer, your central responsibility is to unearth those concealed emotions and articulate them, mirroring the truth of your sentiments. This rule rings true even when the emotions involved are as deep as profound grief or corrosive anger. To ensure that your voice sincerely reflects these intense feelings, it's vital to confront them, accepting them as part of your writing journey. This becomes crucial when you sense a hesitance in your words, perhaps when your emotions are too intimate or too raw to explore. For acceptance, you need to immerse yourself fully in your emotions, being consciously aware of your feelings at any given moment. By evading or superficially contemplating your emotions, you prevent authenticity in your voice. Once you are truly present in your feelings, you start recognizing that your reality, brimming with all its experiences and emotions, both bitter and sweet, is your sanctuary. Here, you can be your unalloyed self. Upon accepting this, you will start feeling at ease with yourself and your full emotional spectrum. This marks the commencement of your journey towards uncovering your own writer's voice. Part 3. Trust your writing. Faith in your abilities paves the way to becoming a good writer. One characteristic uniting all accomplished writers is an intriguing paradox. They never fret over whether they're actually good writers. If your gut tells you that writing is your calling, heed its voice. Just write. With time and perseverance, your skills will gradually refine. However, that's not to say it will be a breeze. You'll have bleak days, hunched over your desk, locked in a staring contest with a blank page for hours. Yet, there will also be those luminous days when everything aligns perfectly and words stream effortlessly. Bear in mind that every day, no matter how taxing, has a lesson tucked within, waiting to be revealed if you're tenacious and patient enough. This unwavering faith is an invaluable asset, especially for budding writers. Even if your writing is not top tier right from the get-go, persisting could very well polish your skills over time. As you traverse this journey, a fervent passion for writing may gradually take root, akin to the burning desire to play a sport or strum a musical instrument. Fostering faith in your eventual success as a writer can soften the sting of not writing with the flair you aspire to, replaced instead by a profound love for the act of writing itself. Faith assumes a vital role in your perspective as a writer, anchoring your stance on the subject you're exploring. If you lack faith in your own words, winning over your audience becomes a Herculean task. How can you imbue your writing with such conviction? Endeavor to comprehend life, caring about it deeply. This implies closely scrutinizing not just the grand, theatrical life events, but also the seemingly mundane facets of everyday life. Inscribe every element that resonates with you. This approach will ensure that you feel a deep connection with your narrative and find the right words to depict it. Part 4. Finding Rhythm in Routine. How a daily writing routine can foster growth. There's a prevalent stereotype attached to writers and artists at large, that they solely operate under the whims of their inspirations. However, successful writers demonstrate a different narrative, anchored in a steadfast routine. If you aspire to elevate your writing skills, it's prudent to emulate their disciplined approach. How does this work? A routine engenders discipline, and discipline paves the way to success. Find your personal nook, a spot dedicated to writing, and ensure you visit it each day, irrespective of productivity levels. Next, strive to maintain a consistent schedule, visiting your designated writing spot around the same time daily. This consistency primes your subconscious to gear up for creativity when you sit down to write. Initiating this routine might seem monotonous initially, and you might even grapple with writer's block. Over time, however, you'll find that your routine is positively impacting your mindset, helping you carve out a mental writing space that readies you for the creative challenge of writing. The underpinning principle behind a routine is to mold writing into a daily habit. Despite instances where putting pen to paper seems Herculean, your routine will gradually train your creativity to spring into action at your chosen time. Nevertheless, even with a rigorous routine and stringent discipline, becoming a stellar writer is not guaranteed. After all, there's no clandestine recipe for remarkable writing. Yet, understanding the importance of commitment to your craft is crucial. Commitment, coupled with routine and discipline, is instrumental in shaping your success as a writer. The author admits that her lineage didn't bestow upon her any secret ingredient for writing well. There was no covert passcode allowing her to decode the intricacies of excellent writing. However, reflecting upon the good writers she knew, the author discerned a common thread: an unwavering commitment to their work and a disciplined adherence to routine. Writing shares remarkable parallels with meditation. A calm mind is requisite to hear the murmur of your inner voice. A religiously followed daily routine facilitates this calming. Now that you've peered into the prerequisites of being a good writer, let's explore the subsequent steps involved in crafting a book. Part 5. Embrace the imperfect. The art of tolerating the shoddy first draft. A common misconception prevailing among many is that good writing blooms, fully shaped, from the fertile soil of a writer's imagination. But if you've ever attempted to write even a college essay, you'll know this is far from the truth. The first draft is rarely, if ever, a masterpiece. In reality, every excellent book is the culmination of multiple iterations, each version a tad bit better than its predecessor, all starting from an embryonic formulation of ideas, or, as the author puts it, the shoddy first draft. Even for the most veteran writer, accepting the poor quality of the first draft can be a challenging pill to swallow. Nevertheless, it's essential for all writers to not only accept the shoddy first draft as a starting point, but also embrace this stage of the journey. The shoddy first draft provides a platform for your imagination to roam and experiment with ideas freely. Avoid overanalyzing your writing at this juncture. Simply write. Overthinking can act as a creative blockade, potentially frustrating you to the brink of quitting. Instead, relish this stage. The first draft is your sandbox, where you can muck around freely, secure in the knowledge that you can tidy up later. Your first draft is not for public scrutiny, so leverage it to pour out your ideas onto the paper. With the completion of your shoddy first draft, you can now embark on the journey of editing, honing your narrative, fine-tuning its direction, and polishing your writing. View the second draft as the elevate draft, where you're lifting its quality. The third draft can be termed the scrutinized draft, akin to a dentist's appointment where each element of your writing is examined and inspected closely, much like a dentist inspecting each tooth. A helpful analogy for the entire process is to visualize your story unfolding through consecutive drafts, like a Polaroid snapshot gradually coming into focus. Part 6. Familiarize and actualize. Crafting compelling characters for your story. Every compelling story features remarkable characters, and every budding writer yearns to comprehend the art of creating them. What's the secret to crafting unforgettable characters? The key lies in understanding your characters intimately. Once you've deciphered them, your role as a writer is to bring these characters to life. How can you achieve this? Consider each character, like any human, as possessing an emotional acre, a unique space where all their personal attributes, desires, detests, needs, and affections flourish or wane. In your narrative, strive to comprehend each character's emotional acre. Ask yourself, what is my character nurturing in their acre? What's blossoming and what's withering? What's the condition of their emotional terrain? Now delve deeper. What activities are your characters engaged in? What experiences do they undergo? Remember not to cocoon your characters. You have to let them face adversities. If they lead a utopian life and conduct themselves impeccably, your narrative will become mundane and uninteresting, a mirror of daily life, finally. You must discover the unique voice of your characters. An effective approach is to mold a character's persona based on someone you know personally, offering your character a genuine voice. This is vital because we, as readers, yearn to believe in the authenticity of fictional characters. Animating characters also entails allowing the plot and dialogue to naturally evolve from them. For this, an intimate understanding of your characters is imperative. Once you comprehend them thoroughly, your plot and dialogue will unfold organically. Imagine how your characters would converse in diverse scenarios, be it on a train or at a shopping mall. Concoct challenging situations for them and visualize their reactions. Keep in mind that dialogue can reveal more about a character than an extensive description. This encompasses not just what characters communicate, but also how they articulate, their choice of words, rhythm, and style of speech. Lastly, to generate engaging dialogue, read it out loud to assess its realism and attentively observe real-life conversations. Listen closely. Are they articulating their thoughts accurately? What sets their mode of speech apart? Part 7. Details matter. Infusing authenticity into your story with intricate nuances. If you've ever lost yourself in a riveting novel, you'd understand the significance of details in storytelling. Details lend credibility and tangibility to a narrative, enabling a writer to transport the reader inside their story. One crucial detail that often gets overlooked is your story's setting. An articulate setting breathes life into your narrative, rendering your character's world more vivid and multidimensional. As a writer, you have the flexibility to tailor any setting to suit your narrative and characters. Take, for example, a forest. If a crime transpires in the forest, you'd likely describe it with sinister, darker details, painting a stark contrast to a sunny, lush forest, serving as a backdrop for a family picnic. The personal spaces of your characters can also divulge a lot about them. The character's interaction with their environment can shed light on various aspects of their personality. Suppose a character ambles aimlessly through his sprawling mansion all day. It might hint at his wealth. Invaluable details can crop up unexpectedly. Hence, a prudent writer always remains vigilant, armed with a notebook to jot down any striking detail that could be useful for their writing. So, what kind of details should you be on the lookout for if you're attending an event at a palatial mansion? For instance, take note of the number of steps on the main staircase, or measure the time it takes to traverse from one end of the mansion to the other. These intricate details can render the desolate wanderings of your wealthy character more authentic. Attention to details also plays a pivotal role in sculpting the architecture of your narrative. To ensure a fluid narrative flow, writers often draft a plot treatment, a comprehensive enumeration of events unfolding in each chapter. Producing a treatment enables you to identify any missing details or logical fallacies in your narrative. For instance, if a character passes away in the first chapter but resurfaces to save the day in the climax, it's a clear indicator that you need to rethink your plot, unless, of course, your narrative revolves around zombies. So, you've got your shoddy first drafts, your memorable characters, and vivid details. You're well on your way to writing a great story. But what happens when you stumble upon a roadblock in your writing journey? Part 8. When creativity grinds to a halt, navigating through the labyrinth of writer's block. Every writer encounters this universal predicament at some point, a sudden cessation of ideas. This is the infamous writer's block. Staring into the void of creativity can be debilitating, often accompanied by feelings of shame and frustration. Fortunately, there are strategies you can adopt to steer through this deadlock. The first step is acknowledging that you're stuck. Accept that you're simply not brimming with creativity at the moment. However, ensure you adhere to your pre-established routine, committing to writing at least one page each day, irrespective of how daunting or onerous crafting sentences might feel. Your self-assurance, the conviction that you'll soon be back on the creative track, will ultimately guide you through the block. Think of confidence as a supportive crutch that keeps you standing during these creatively barren times. But what if you lose that confidence and your muse seems to have deserted you? It's a challenging predicament. Regaining your confidence involves tuning into your intuition and placing faith in your abilities. Maintain your composure, still your thoughts, and breathe, all the while staying attuned to your intuitive signals. By avoiding panic, you'll remain connected and eventually find your way back into the groove. Keep in mind, however, if your intuition is hinting that the story you're stuck on isn't quite cutting it, you must respect and consider that insight. Writer's block can halt a promising story in its tracks. Sometimes you might find yourself stagnating, wrestling with a paragraph, a chapter, or a storyline that simply doesn't resonate. So how do you ascertain whether to persist through the struggle or allow yourself to abandon ship? Your intuition, once again, serves as your compass. Part 9. Embrace your vulnerabilities. Leveraging your shortcomings through humor and kindness. We all, at some point, shirk our emotions. For writers in particular, eschewing emotions can spell a significant loss, as the true worth of our feelings lies in the lessons they bestow upon us. This holds true even for emotions that might be perceived as detrimental, like jealousy. For a writer, harboring jealousy towards fellow writers is not only detrimental, but potentially demeaning. It offers no benefits. Rather, it only breeds paranoia, misery, and isolation. Whether you're pursuing writing as a vocation or a personal endeavor, you might find yourself grappling with jealousy. For instance, if your best friend's book receives critical acclaim while yours languishes incomplete at chapter 6, jealousy might rear its ugly head, leading you to distance yourself from your friend. If left unchecked, these destructive emotions might extrapolate to encompass all writers and, eventually, seep into your own writing endeavors. This is the deadly potency of jealousy. If allowed to proliferate unabated, it corrodes your character and poisons your writing life. Irrespective of your emotion, be it jealousy, anguish, or fear, don't shy away from confronting them. Instead, channel your writer's perspective to discern the hidden beauty within these emotions. Embracing your emotions fully and encapsulating them in words can catalyze your growth as both a writer and an individual. Undeniably, confronting your emotions can be a Herculean task. Emotions like love, grief, and loss can be overwhelmingly daunting to engage with persistently. However, upon facing your emotions head-on, you'll emerge stronger and, eventually, you'll rediscover your sense of humor. Crying and laughing are two facets of the same emotional spectrum, and with time, what once seemed like an insurmountable crisis might transform into a poignant chapter in the book of your life. As a writer, these varied emotions present an opportunity to delve deeper into your own traits and those of others, imbuing your story's characters with these intricate emotional nuances. Part 10. Seek the right company. The significance of productive interactions for your writing. The world teems with countless tales waiting to be told. Many are yearning to share their stories, on the lookout for a perceptive writer, like you, who could do justice to their narratives. All you need to do is engage in a conversation. Undeniably, writing is typically a solitary pursuit, and often writers inadvertently isolate themselves. Steer clear of this in your writing journey. Spending prolonged periods at your desk, engrossed in your work, can often lead to a sense of dissociation, blurring the lines between reality and fiction. Don't wait till you reach this stage to initiate a dialogue with others. Instead, find inspiration in the lives of others. For example, striking a conversation with a stranger during a park stroll might provide you with a fresh narrative perspective. Who wouldn't appreciate their story being immortalized in words? Sharing and discussing your work with fellow writers is another avenue to glean inspiration from the outside world. If your social circle lacks writers, consider joining a writing group. Participating in creative writing classes and workshops provides an opportunity to engage in valuable discussions with individuals on a similar creative journey. However, be cautious. Certain groups have a notorious reputation for being overtly critical, and your work may be subjected to harsh scrutiny, both by instructors and peers. This could potentially rattle your confidence. So, when you seek feedback and professional opinion on your work, strive to find individuals who offer both encouragement and constructive criticism. Part 11. Becoming a skillful writer trumps the pursuit of publication. Why do many writers harbor a fixation with getting published? Undoubtedly, writers need an audience. No writer desires to script narratives in isolation. Writers also yearn for validation of their creative prowess. However, for many, the aspiration to be published, garner a reader base, and eventually gain widespread recognition can escalate into an unhealthy obsession. If you're harboring fantasies of fame and fortune post-publication, you're in for a rude awakening. Should you be fortunate enough, your book will hit the shelves. You'll receive a smattering of positive reviews, perhaps attract a modest crowd at a reading event, and might even receive a congratulatory bouquet from your agent. But, more often than not, publishing your book won't catapult you to stardom or amass you a fortune. One crucial aspect to bear in mind regarding publication is, if you weren't an accomplished writer pre-publication, getting published won't magically refine your writing skills. Publication does not confer the title of a good writer upon you. Nevertheless, securing publication signifies a notable achievement coveted by all writers. It symbolizes a nod of approval from the writing community, acknowledging your commendable work. Ultimately, the essence of writing lies in the journey, the process of shaping words into narratives, and the personal and emotional evolution you undergo while honing your craft. Consider publication as a delightful bonus. The real reward for all your toil lies in leading a writer's life, accomplishing small goals daily and deeply caring for your work. Viewed through this lens, publication serves merely as a conduit to connect with readers and nothing beyond. After all, writers choose their craft because reading and writing enrich their understanding of life and nourish their souls. Final summary. Emerging as a proficient writer entails honing your observational skills, cataloging life's myriad experiences, and striving to articulate the truth. It also demands discipline, best cultivated through adhering to a regular writing regimen. When you're immersed in the writing process, embrace the creation of shitty first drafts, as this serves as the most productive starting point for any project. Thank you for joining me today on this journey of learning and discovery as we explored the insights of another thought-provoking book in our growing library of knowledge. If you've enjoyed our time together, please take a moment to follow our podcast, give us a 5-star rating, and share 20-minute books with other knowledge seekers. Your support truly means a lot. Don't forget to join me again in the next episode, where we will delve into another enriching book. Until then, happy reading and happy listening.